Live from Lake Worth, Florida, it's the SMB Comedy Podcast, starring me, Scott.
And me, Greg.
And me, Jesse.
And this week we're going to talk about...
What are we going to talk about?
Stuff
in the news.
You didn't get the arrow.
Oh, I didn't.
Jesse was supposed to kick in.
Oh, okay.
But Mr.
Fair
Control
enough.
Freak
We are going to
jumped
talk
in.
about stuff
All right,
that happened
all right.
this week.
How's your week been, Jesse?
It was good. Had a show last night at the Improv. Went
How'd it
really
go?
well.
How'd it go?
Went really good. I got to open up. It was packed. Every seat was
Right.
taken. So
This was the
That's
one
good
that went down at the Hollywood Improv,
uh,
right?
yeah, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale. Yeah,
on
whatever
the
you wanna call it.
Indian reservation.
Yeah, that's right. The Hard Rock.
This gambling here. When are they going to get the weed, man? So, yeah, the show went well?
Yeah, it went really well, man. I was happy with it. Like I said, crowd was great, man. They were real into it. So,
Well, that's
you know.
cool. Yeah, it was a big crowd there. Huh?
Oh yeah, man. I don't know what capacity is, but whatever it was. I mean, like I
It
said,
was
every
cool.
seat was
That's
taken, man. It was a
cool,
good
man.
time.
'Cause they're coming to laugh. They're ready to
It's
laugh.
better. It's better than doing, open mic. 5 people not paying
Oh,
attention, not
man.
there to see comedy.
Or like
So
that-
if the people actually laugh when you tell your jokes, it's like, this is what I'm doing this for. It's like,
or like
Yeah,
in a storage
exactly.
room in the back of the place.
Even if you do bad, you still do good.
yeah. Bad at when the people are there, or
right.
better
Because-
than doing
because
good at an open
Somebody
mic most of the
still
time.
laughs.
Right.
Like
yeah.
when you're doing like a bar or something like that. Like even if you're doing the best you possibly can, you still feel like you suck. Well, I feel like I suck when I leave. I'm just like, you know what? Why am I doing this to myself? I want to
You're
go
like,
home.
why do I even show up here?
Yeah,
Look
I'd
at-
go home and fucking put on my Snuggie and I
And
just
eat
curl
my
up.
bonbons.
Yeah, and eat bonbons and I
cry
curl
myself
up
to sleep.
listening to some Barbra Streisand
and
records.
Fucking watching Friends.
Oh, I'm getting depressed now.
Yeah.
Just listening to you guys.
It's like, man,
I feel you. I'm right there with you, bro.
'cause you know that someone, if you have someone that will come and see you that knows you, they'll come up to you and be like, hey man,
how'd I do?
I'm like, yeah man, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
it
really
went
tell you
pretty
how
well.
you did. They just
Nah.
yeah man, yeah.
It
man,
was great.
just-
Well, you can't. I've been there for you plenty of times. I can't like be like that was kind of shitty. Like when you get off the stage,
Yeah.
because literally, like, all right, I'm gonna go to my
well,
car and kill myself.
Listen, you know,
Like,
no, I would.
It's a pretty sensitive time, but I've also been like, you kind of lost it. Near
I
the end,
prefer
though.
for you to go tell me,
Yeah,
hey man,
yeah,
it was terrible.
yeah.
For sure.
But I'm not gonna lay it on really thick.
I tell all my friends that, and I said, don't when you come see me, I don't want your fucking. The one rule is,
Yeah.
I don't want your fake laughs. If you think I'm funny, laugh. But if not, make me sit there in silence. That's fine. I don't need
Yeah.
any fake encouragement
Yeah,
making me think I'm telling funny
I
jokes.
must have
And,
mistakenly told everyone that when I went to comedy the one
I
time
s-
because nobody was laughing. They were like, "We're being honest."
Yeah,
that's because
It's better to know though than like you
No,
keep
I'm
telling
kidding.
shitty jokes over and over again, and then
they were paying their bill. You got
Yeah.
you were like 19.
Yeah. Exactly.
Excuse me, that's happened before. It sucks. Like you're like, come on, man, can't we just get this over with?
Yeah.
Why? Just go home. And then like one person before you're like, oh, the crowd's still here. All right, not bad. And then there's like 2 people before you.
Oh right. And
They leave, and then you see like 40 people leave. You're like, no,
Yeah.
but you really. And then the only people there are fucking paying their check. They're like, come on, man, I didn't order the jalapeno poppers.
Well,
Like,
even worse is like when those people come up before you and they just eat dick, and then you see like
Yeah.
the entire fucking
Right.
the entire place just being like, I don't want to be here. Like, why did I even?
now you got to try and bring them to life.
And you come back and be like, hey, sorry about that shitty thing that just happened, but
Yeah.
now we're gonna fucking.
And then the next person's saying the same thing about you. Whoa, well,
Yeah.
let me liven up the show by showing you my balls. that
is funny.
I wouldn't advise it, but
No.
So
Well-
anyway, we've been having a problem finding topics,
Yeah.
and
It's not that we don't know what's going on. It's just that every time we show up here, we're like, oh, it's
yeah,
Francis.
we're
lack of
scrambling,
preparation, I
scrambling.
think.
We work
Yeah.
hard.
I'm
We
looking-
work hard all week, and by that I mean we smoke a lot of weed and play a lot of video games. We don't have time for remembering important shit like making sure our show has something to talk about.
right. So,
But we've been cheating you.
Yeah.
We feel like we've been cheating
we have
everyone.
got to put in a little more
Well,
work.
Greg actually felt like he was cheating.
Yes,
we were
I
cheating you
did.
guys.
He was working very hard.
He fucking bombarded us with 8 billion messages in like it wasn't 8 billion. It was probably 3.5 billion in the span of like 15 minutes. It was rapid. I'm still getting update messages. Boop, 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 boop. Like,
I knew something was wrong. Like I
Yeah.
never normally get messages on my phone, and then just constantly one after another is like a stream. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like Tuesday, and I was like, oh my god, the show's almost here. Like
Yeah.
it's 2 days later, I have all these stories I know I've talked about over the week, and all of a sudden I'm like, damn it, like I can't remember any of. All right, now I'm gonna paste them to you. So I knew it was like mass texting, and you guys would be like, what the fuck is going on with this? This is so
It's good that one of us pays attention to the news, though.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, now
I don't give a fuck.
now
personally.
we're on point. So
I heard
what
there's
happened?
a comet gonna hit us tonight.
No, that's not actually it. But a dude in Orlando did manage to urinate in a ice machine, a hotel ice machine. I guess he showed up there, and the security guard, I think, even came up to him a couple times. It was like, hey, like, what's their deal? And he was like, fuck you. I think
He was
from-
staying in the hotel.
Yeah. He was from Britain or something
Wait,
like
okay.
that.
the
Yeah.
ice machine where all the rooms get ice?
Or
Like the
inside
one
a
on the
bar?
like on the.
I think it was into the bar.
Wow,
oh
that's
shit!
even crazier.
I was
man.
thinking it was like some floors have the ice machine there where you can
yeah,
just go
that's what I
scoop
was
some out.
thinking, maybe. That's
wow.
really-
Yeah. They said they noticed the smell of alcohol on him, and there was like random outbursts. And they said they told him to stay in this hotel room for the night because it could be placed under arrest. And then he continued to be disruptive in the hallway.
Wait a second. So the cops told him to go to his room for the night.
Mm-hmm.
They
That was
didn't
his
wanna deal
punishment?
with-
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
want to deal with
He
the
was
fuck-
white, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was from Britain.
It's like,
Well, there's lots of black guys from
yeah,
Britain.
but I mean, they
He didn't get beat. If he just called to go to your room for the night, I'm sure this guy is white.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened? I guess the security guard ended up walking up to him at first, and
Oh, I see,
and then he was pissing in the ice machine, and then when the cops showed up, they were like, just go stay in your room, just sleep it off.
If he was a black English dude, they would have sent his ass to Guantanamo
You
Bay.
think? Well, but no, you've never met a black English dude.
Yeah, I have, actually.
Oh well, I meant that metaphorically,
Not you personally.
I didn't mean realistically.
You
but-
looked right at me when
But
you're like,
I
you've never
did.
met
I
a
did.
black
Scott,
Englishman.
you have never met a black
Yeah.
Englishman.
I'm trying to think of a
But
black
yeah,
English person.
when they start talking, it's sort of like when I started talking.
It-
Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
he gets it."
You ever see? You know what trips me out? English rappers.
Oh, it's the worst thing
Like,
ever.
"Oh, fucking beat the bus.
Oh,
there's-
man.
there's nothing worse than that.
Because you can't understand a
I
word
went.
they're
I was
saying.
in the. I went to Amsterdam for 6 weeks. Like
6 weeks?
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
the fuck did you get
Yeah.
lost?
No. It was the plan. No, it was.
Planned for 6 weeks?
No, we wanted to like stay, but we kind of ran out of money after like 6 weeks.
no
so.
shit. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good stay. I would
Where'd you
say.
get all the money?
Oh well, we stayed very cheap. Like it was me and like 3 friends, and
You guys stayed in
we
hostels?
rented a small apartment there. We saved up a couple grand each and
Oh,
shit like
okay.
that. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
But anyways, the reason
Well, I actually want
they
to
had
story.
Yeah,
well, there's a lot more to
it's
tell.
like, I wanna
I'll get
know
into it.
about
But the
this.
reason I brought it up is because they had, we watched a lot of the TV there, and they had Dutch rappers and shit like that, and. Some of the beats, I will have to say, there was one group that had a couple. That one beat, I was like, oh man, this is good. You can't understand one fucking thing they're saying.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
And Dutch is not like a great language
to
rap
rhyme
out.
with. Yeah, no. It's
Yeah. There's like words
Sounds like angry German.
Yeah,
gay sex.
German too. Like, because you've ever heard French rappers? French rappers are actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they sound,
It
but
sounds
it
good.
has everything to do with their language.
I was gonna
too.
say everything
Yeah,
in French
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah. It's like MC Solar and
I
shit
wonder
like that.
if they hear our rap and think it sucks.
Oh no, they
probably
dude,
imitating.
yeah,
Where do you think they
of course
heard
they
rap
do.
music from
Yeah, I know,
originally?
that's what I'm saying.
when I went to London, they were all up
Well,
in
fuck,
it.
first of all,
it's fucking
I mean, let's be real. London,
is.
they pretty much speak English. They just speak a
Oh,
different dialect.
well, they do speak English. They speak the original
They don't
English.
speak
Yeah, the
American.
Kings.
They speak
the
it
Kings.
right. They speak it correctly.
Yeah. Well, fuck them, man. They talk like assholes, I think. Anyway, fuck English people.
Yeah. So.
Tell us your story. Tell us, please.
Oh, you want me to tell you more?
Yeah.
What about Amsterdam?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I mean, it's not much to tell. We took mushrooms, we smoked weed, red light district a lot. You know what I mean? The normal shit.
So you did what people
But
do in Amsterdam.
something interesting did happen. It was
You
a
got
funny
VD?
story. No, actually, not that I know of. I mean,
Oh,
but
that's good.
I've been tested since then. I'm
Did
sure.
you meet the Fockers? You ever heard that there's like a documentary called Meet the Fockers, but it's spelled like Fokkeers, and it's like
Oh,
two
really?
big fat Dutch hookers.
Oh,
gross.
Yeah,
Really?
from like back in the day.
There's
yeah.
a couple interesting things that happen there. The red light district is interesting because it's really like, I mean, everything's advertised. It's like a mall, but with just
with hookers.
hot chicks standing in the window, and they have different sections. They have it separated off. Like they have like their main group or their main section where the best looking women are. And then they have like
Oh, wow. So you got the
Asian
side streets.
section.
Oh, no
Then they
way.
have like a black section. And then me and my
Wow.
friends are wandering. We're trying to see everything, We're
Yeah.
trying to walk around and see everything. So we find ourselves walking around this one street part, and we're walking around, and I'm like, man, that's one ugly bitch right there, bro. Like I'm just looking at,
dude.
and we
You
walk
wound
by,
up in the ugly section?
We keep walking by, and like the next, we saw two or three more, and then I was like, bro. These are fucking dudes, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
They were
We're
in the
in the transvestites.
You were in
We
the-
fucking could not get out of there fast enough, bro. You know what I mean?
Saw you.
What are those guys coming? And there was like
Yeah.
4 dudes.
You're-
It's like
You're in the dude section. You know, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, no, I wasn't kind of. I didn't mean to be here because like no locals are probably like hanging out there.
they know not to go. We were like, why is there no one else around here? You know what I mean?
I like how the dude section
Drinks
is
are
deserted, like because half it's because like well, what are you doing? Oh shit, like no, I was just getting some milk. Like there's no gas.
Was Eddie
stations.
Murphy there?
It was Eddie
I'm
Murphy.
just giving someone a rat home.
right.
Something else that happened though, we stayed the apartment we stayed at. It was actually in like Muslim part of town. Like it was all Muslim people, really, except for us. And so, we just lived there. We went around our business like we were, you know what I mean? And we stuck out, of course, so fucking bad. You know what I mean?
Everyone's looking at it like, what the
They
fuck?
would grill us. Like we would walk as a group, like through and we would see where like. One or two of us would be walking in front, and then like someone would, as they walked by, they'd turn around and look at them, and we would be behind them, seeing them, like grilling them. You know what I mean? But anyway, so one day, someone broke into the apartment, and they carved into the door. I kill you, into the door, and they didn't. They broke in. They ransacked the whole apartment. They went through the bag where all our traveler's checks were, fucking credit cards and shit. They didn't take any of it.
They didn't understand what it was, probably.
No. I mean. Traveler's checks. I mean, I'm sure they would
all
understand.
money looks the same.
But
I guess. But
like they didn't. They took our radio and they took my wallet, which luckily I didn't. I had most of my cash on me at the time.
You have your ID and stuff like that?
I had my passport luckily on me. I left my. That's
Jesus.
why I had my passport. I carried with me, but I had like my
dude,
wallet.
that would have sucked, bro.
Yeah, dude.
It would have been fucking 8
You'd have been
weeks.
fucking stateless and
You
shit.
would have been in the fucking.
You'd be like, my name's Jesse. You're like, sure, buddy. I've seen people do that accent
you
before.
would have
Like,
been you would have been working in the fucking dude section.
But here's the funny part though is like so we called the cops and shit because we didn't know what to do and shit like that. So the cops came down and they literally told us they're like, oh well, we doubt they'll come back. You don't have anything to worry about. If anything happens and they come back, just put your head out the window and yell for the police. We're only a few blocks away. Someone will hear you and come.
Welcome to Europe. Is it considered Europe?
It is Europe.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty European.
I couldn't believe it. I thought that was just the funniest thing
You're
ever.
like, really?
Did they ever come back?
I kill you, bitch, in the door. And it's like, it's nothing serious. Don't worry about it.
Was it all capitals?
Yes.
Oh, they meant
it was.
then. It
Oh,
was-
yeah, no. And yeah.
Very subtle. And all you want to do is like carve in a will in between I will.
Yeah. And the guy who rented the apartment like beneath us and shit, he fucking hated us from the second we moved in. He was always looking to give us shit. He like blamed us. He was like, "Oh, you guys broke," because there was it was on top of a movie rental place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you had to. Someone broke in the door to get up to our apartment to do all
And
this
he was
shit,
mad at
and he
you?
blamed us for it was like our fault that someone broke in our place and so
See
on.
Americans with their fancy radios.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a cheap piece. We bought it there. You know what I mean?
Oh my
We
God,
it was
you're
like
like,
a 20.
really?
You buy it at like Walgreens for like $20 now. It just had like a CD player on it. You know what I mean?
Did they steal your CDs?
No, only the CD that was in.
What CD was in it?
Probably like Sublime or something like
well,
that.
that's
You know
not,
what I
that's
mean?
no loss. They did you a favor.
Oh, fuck that shit.
My bad. That's awesome though. That is a really. I don't have a story that cool.
Yeah, you know.
The only story I have that can match that is I don't have.
I freaked out on mushrooms when I was there, and I can't ever do mushrooms ever again.
Why?
Oh, really?
You can't
Oh
ever-
no, I did. Well, I did. I mean, I took acid one time before, and I did mushrooms probably like 3 times while we were there. And the first 2 times, it fucking blast.
Yeah.
The third time, we took a little more than we did the previous times,
It's so
and
You
I
probably
freaked.
pissed somebody
I
off. That's why they came back
freaked
and
out.
fucked your house.
Oh,
up.
you just reminded me. Oh, a story. So one time,
Very likely, by the way.
one time we were on mushrooms. My friend used to have this like a horse, and it would like basically the mushrooms would grow in his shit. Like,
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And they would get like garbage bags full of these fucking mushrooms. This was like back in the day.
Sure.
And he ended up they would make tea from it, and
Right.
we would drink this tea, and this shit would would make your skin buzz. Like it was that potent.
Oh,
Where-
yeah,
where- like you would just it's just one of those things. With mushrooms, really hard to tell like how much is you're doing ever. And man, it fucking like like your hair was on fire.
Yeah.
And so I wind up. I'm sitting there one day, and I'm like, all right, fuck this. I'm good. I'm leaving. It's like 2 a.m, and I'm like, all right, I'm going home. And like, and everyone's like, what? What are you doing? What? And I'm like, dude, it's fucking. I'm ready to go. I just need to go home, and bury my head in the pillow, and be like, please stop, please stop. So I walk outside, and as I'm walking outside, I see the dome light in my car come on, and I'm like, oh shit! Like I don't remember like giving my keys to anybody, or even then like, my friends are outside. Like, are any of my friends are outside? Or what's going on? So I walk up to the car. Meanwhile, fucking tripping my balls off.
Yeah.
Like, could not, like, you cannot be much, like, and be, like, up and standing. And I'm like, all right. So I walk into my car. I'm like, dude. Like all of a sudden I see this like young kid like baggy pants and shit like inside of my fucking in my car. I guess he had picked it open with like it was a Honda Civic back in the day,
Oh,
so
okay.
you could like pop the window out and he was able to open it. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And then all of a sudden this kid gets up out of the car and starts walking away like it's nothing. He's got like this shiv that you used to fucking pop open my window with, and he just walks away. And at that point in my mind, because I'm tripping my balls off, I'm like, all right, I got two options here. Either I do nothing and just let the guy walk away, or I beat him to death.
You let him walk away.
Yeah. You bet I let him
It
walk
might not
away.
have gone the way you expected while on mushrooms.
Because I was looking at it, I was like,
You are a bitch.
No, I was like, I'm not going to fucking, I don't even.
You caught somebody breaking
I caught him,
into your car.
I caught him red-handed.
And you let him walk away like
course
Kaiser
he
fucking
had,
Sose.
He had something in his hand. He like, I don't know if it was a fucking knife or whatever it was, but
my
all I
God.
know is I would have had to physically restrain him.
Oh my
and
God.
I was tripping my balls off, and I was like, I'm not. And maybe if I was like really drunk or something like that, I'd be like, what's up, bro? Like, you know.
Most likely.
But this time I was like in peace, love, and like I'm not gonna fucking get into a fight right now mode. So what happens? We end up calling the cops. The cops show up. They break.
You called the cops while you're on mushrooms?
Yeah.
Right. So,
out,
right. So the cops show up while we're on mushrooms to break up this party down the street where the jit came from, and we ended up. I shit you not, like 3 o'clock in the morning now. I'm sitting there trying to like write in a police report on the back of a cop car, and like with all these people, and it was so funny. I just remember like I think I talked to my friend who called the cops. I'm like, what did you call the cops for?
Right.
I'm like, holy shit, and like he was like, I'm so sorry, bro. He's like,
Did
I don't
they
know.
take anything out of your car?
No, they didn't. They just looked in my car and everything like that. Everything was cool, and
You know they knew you were fucked up, right?
Yeah. Oh no, they didn't. Like they at one point I was.
Your pupils were probably like...
No, well they're not shining the flashlight.
Those
It's
are
not
the
a
pupils
D-
of anger.
It's not a DUI check. So
They had to notice.
So I wind up on the back of the hood of the cop car, like trying to write in the police report. There's no fucking light. Like and we're in the dark, and I'm standing there just tripping balls, being like, and I turn over and I'm like, I can't really see anything. And they're like, oh shit, like we didn't even think about that. Let me help you out there. And they're like pointing at 10. I'm just trying to. I'm like, all right, act.
Did
really,
you read the shit?
It
was like the dog bit
like,
the bat,
yeah.
the balls.
Well,
the
no,
balls
I'm just like
became
I had to
blue.
write in my name and everything. Like, dude broke into my car.
Yeah.
They saw him and walk away, and I was like, nope, not today.
Hey, did he pull an Eli Cash and just go?
People can't see what you're
Run
doing.
away? Yeah, I know, but you did. You were
Just
supposed
put
to
your
laugh
hand
if
in
you
the
don't.
air.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Never
Who's Eli
mind.
Cash?
Never mind.
So, anyways, a lot of movie trailers.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Dude.
It's like this summer is gonna be. I mean, of course, there were Star Wars that came out, but that's gonna be later on.
I was gonna kill myself, but now I'm not because at least not till December.
Oh, really?
Because I have to see the new Star Wars.
Oh, you saw the new Star Wars trailer?
Yes, yes.
Oh, dude. It was,
Dude, I got chills.
like,
Every
dude,
time I
the,
see it, I
the
get
song
chills. I'm
comes on, you're like,
Yeah.
You're like, shit, dude. I can't believe how much of a visceral reaction I get to that. Like, Jesse, you're not really as into Star Wars.
Not
so,
too much.
Yeah, you weren't like I get like almost choked up at one, like fucking nerd chills.
Yeah.
Just-
I will say...
What year were you born, though?
82.
That's why.
Well,
Why? Everybody my age loves Star Wars. All my friends love Star Wars.
really?
I mean, it's fine. I've seen the movies. I mean, I don't hate,
That's
but it's
still-
just
then
I'm
you're
not
still
that
early
into
Then
it.
you're just fucking
But
weird.
I mean, like I will say in the preview, it's fine. Why I'm weird, but it's in the preview. The one part when I saw you see the Darth Vader match all smashed, I was like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, that was the one part I was like, oh man,
Yeah,
you know what I
shit's
mean?
getting real.
Yeah.
It's when you hear Luke's voice.
Yeah.
He's like, the Force is strong in my family. My father had. And then he touches fucking R2-D2 with the crazy robot hand.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
Oh man.
When I was a kid, I think I modeled probably the first 13 years of my life wanting to be Luke Skywalker.
Oh, dude, they used to have the Luke
sounds fairly-
Skywalker underoos. Remember that shit?
No, I didn't. I
You
didn't
had to be
mind-
disappointed fairly frequently though when you couldn't
Dude,
draw stuff with the
Oh,
Force.
Yeah.
man, I tried my hardest. I was like, just lift up.
I
And you're like,
fucking
nope.
love Star Wars, man.
And then every once in a while I have a dream where I'm like, dude, I can lift stuff up. And then,
Yeah.
and then you're like, nope, that's not real.
I feel like
Did-
I would
did
get a
not
lot more
just dream.
respect if my father was Darth Vader, though. I will say.
You have to. He could choke you without touching you.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is kind of a dick, though.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
my
one.
dad's a dick too, but he's a fucking
Yeah, but he didn't kill
Does
a
he breathe heavy at least?
He didn't kill a temple full of children. So I think that's where your
Well,
dad,
I mean, you know,
your dad's got over Darth
he
Vader.
does have a temple full of children that he ignores. I mean.
Well, I guess that is a little
Damn.
worse.
Greg,
Oh, damn, got to bring it there.
bringing out the fucking.
Oh no, it's to be funny. I'm not. No, it's all serious.
I didn't think you were really gonna
Oh.
start crying because then all of a sudden Greg would be like,
I
"Man,
was,
you
I was
realize?"
talking about Darth Vader, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, his dad didn't kill anybody.
Oh, you know what's
Not
funny?
yet.
Not to change the subject for a second,
Okay.
but I found an old picture of Greg,
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
and I've been sending Greg, and Greg as a child.
Who's the guy? Who's the
Pat
guy?
Smear.
Pat? I don't know who that
Greg looks just like Pat
Okay.
Smear with hair.
From the
Do
germs.
not.
and he's getting all pissed off.
Dude, I'm
He
not.
doesn't look like me.
I'm not getting pissed
he
off.
doesn't look.
I don't see it.
And when I tell you, I told you had white blindness.
Of course, you would say
White
something like
blindness.
Yeah, I don't
It's
see
just
the
like- it's-
resemblance, but I didn't see the picture of
That
him when
is
he was
just-
young.
It's just like night blindness,
Let me
except
show you
you
the
can
picture.
only tell white people
He
apart.
gets really upset.
But
Why are you going to show some of the picture
yeah,
on
I
a radio
mean, the
show?
Well,
people who are
because
going to
you know
have
what,
to
we're
go
gonna
look up
post it
Pat
on the-
Smear.
We're gonna
But
post- that's Greg as a child.
I could see a little resemblance there.
Oh,
I gotta
look,
say,
look.
yeah, I could see it there. I know what Pat Smear looks like.
Yeah, but just to
No, I
Yeah.
got you. No, I
Greg-
could see a little resemblance. Not now, but
Not now.
Greg,
Okay, maybe that's
from
what
the
it is.
from the
Maybe
young
I've been-
picture.
I've been looking at my bald head for
Just-
and 12-year-old me looks like Pat Smear.
Dude,
for
Well,
some
Pat
reason.
Smear
dude
is
had
probably
fucking
bald by
rockin'
this
head
point,
of
too.
hair.
He's
I was
old.
like, holy shit, bro. Greg is the kind of guy.
Oh
that
yeah, because you've only ever
Ever
known
since
me
I've
since
known
I've
you, you've been
bald as a
bald.
fucking bat.
And I've known you like 8 or 9 years. I mean, when I
Yeah.
first met him, I'm like, God damn,
yeah.
this guy's
Dude,
bald.
I used to have fucking like rock star hair. It was the best. Right
you
up in-
literally had rock
Yeah,
star
no,
hair.
for real.
Right,
for real.
up until I was about
Pat
20,
Smear hair.
22, and then one day I noticed a dent in my head. Now
Oh, jeez.
I was like right in the middle. I was like, what the fuck? What is this shit?
What
And
better
then-
way to show it
and
off
then-
than to shave all your hair?
Yeah, and then 10 years later, it was like fucking someone just wiped out the apocalypse on my fucking head. Like,
Oh,
nothing but like smooth skin. I'm like, Jesus, I'm really like, because there's a while there where you're kind of like, oh, maybe I'm going bald.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna grow back or whatever. No. For me, it was like whoosh, like scorched earth
Oh,
policy.
shit.
They're like no hair. But then if you look at like my uncles and shit, they're the same way. It's
I was
fucking-
under the impression it was
my
the.
family reunion is nothing but bald dudes. So anyone
That's
who's like
funny.
anyone who's got any type of like like blood, like Jandal blood, I guess that's my
Is it
my
the
mom's.
Baldy family reunion?
Oh man, it's yeah.
you're going in the right place, sir.
Yeah, you look at
Baldy, right?
You look at I look like an old dude with a full head of hair, like with amazement. Because even some people still have like the receding hairline
Dude,
and everything.
When I see fucking criminals or someone that
right. Or
you're like,
bum-
man, that motherfucker
bums-
don't need no full
like,
head of hair.
seriously, they like see like bums on the side of the street. I'm like, look at
Oh,
that
yeah.
fucking head of hair, dude.
You want to hear something funny? This is a true story, and I won't say his name because I promised him I wouldn't say. I worked with this guy for like 10 years. Talked to him every day. And I was always like, man, that guy's got a bitchin' head of hair. I always said that to him. Like, God damn, man, you have a fucking amazing head of hair.
Yeah, because
dude.
there's not just like not being bald. There's also
Yeah.
like manageable hair.
Dude,
where
yeah.
you know how like this.
he had like fucking David Hasselhoff
Yeah,
hair.
we were like,
and the
God
guy was
damn,
like
your-
50.
your
I'm
hair
like,
always looks
damn,
fucking
dude.
awesome.
Are you sure it was
dude.
real?
Dude, you have like, well, I'm like one day,
Oh, my bad.
I'm looking at him and I'm like,
Holy just fucking
dude, what's up with your fucking hair, dude? And I said to him, I looked him in the eyes. I said, "Are you wearing a fucking wig?" And he went like this. He was like,
Oh,
he
no
looked
way.
He's like,
Ah.
like I was,
like deer in the headlights.
like I was
like,
Matlock, and I fucking got his ass. Ooh, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, man.
Fucking dude. And he's like, dude, don't say anything. I've been wearing a hairpiece for like fucking 20 years.
Holy
I'm like,
shit.
what?
That's
You
commitment.
Yeah,
bald
for real.
fucking liar.
Yeah, because you can't just show up with a not a
No,
hairpiece
yeah,
one
exactly.
day.
Yeah,
Dude,
you can't be
so-
bald and then have a full head of hair the next day.
But
It
his
doesn't work
head-
that way.
his
Or the other
fucking-
way around, even.
Right.
Like
I
all
always-
of a sudden, if you're bald, people are gonna be like, "Wait a second.
I would always fuck with him. He's like, please don't tell anyone. I don't want anyone to know. He got hair plugs and had a hairpiece.
But like at some point, I mean, don't you expect like
Go
any
bald.
50-year-old person
Yeah.
with a full head of hair?
Right.
Like I just assume.
Well, that's even the problem with the hair plugs is that all the other hair is gonna fall out anyways. So
Right.
then they end up with like you see like the bangs they have, like
Yeah.
this 50-year-old dude bangs, and they
Yeah.
just like wrap it around the back. It's like I'm not getting hair plugs again. That
Yeah.
was like an 80s
Like-
thing. And if you see who is it? I think John McCain and the vice president. I can't remember his name.
Joe
right now.
Biden?
Yeah, Joe Biden's got serious case of fucking like post
Oh, yeah.
post plug syndrome, where he's fucking just like he's right. You can't. And the thing about it is, I don't know if you know what they do. They take a line of like a fucking inch out of the back of your head and
Yeah.
staple it shut. So then, if you ever shave your head, you have a line in the back of your
My
head.
friend's done that.
Yeah, yeah, and not
You
only
got
that,
plugs?
if you
Not me.
No,
but
a
your
friend
buddy
of mine,
got
and
it?
he had you see the line on his head.
and so
always.
you can't. So
Did
if
it
you-
work?
Yeah, it worked for him.
What happened? He went bald?
Oh, I mean, he just had a really bad. It was receding hairline,
that's
and he was
the-
in his 20s,
that's the
man.
problem.
And his
Yeah.
wife hated it, so he did it.
There is an episode of fucking John and Kate plus 8.
Oh,
that-
jeez.
where
You have to actually
when
watch
they're-
an episode.
when they're still together, and he actually goes to he doesn't even want to do it, and his wife is the same way. His wife hated it, and she basically drags them there, and they're fucking he ends up getting a hair transplant, and they're like, okay, don't put that hat back on because we just basically drilled hairs into your head, and he fucking first thing he does is he's all drugged up, and he walks out, puts the hat on, and they're like, oh my god,
Did they
what
rip all
the
the hair out?
Oh, dude, totally. They had to take it back off, put him back in there, and plug all the things back in. It's bananas.
But don't you think it's kind of like ballsy for a woman who's had 8 children? You know what I mean? To tell a guy she needs to get your vagina has to be blown out.
No, she's
you
had,
know what
like,
I mean?
serious-
Like,
I think she had C-sections. But,
oh really?
Yeah,
8 times?
Yeah.
Well,
they
no,
were all
it's
at
not 8
once.
different.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
like
had
two
all
kids.
at
What
once?
are you talking
Two
about?
kids.
I never
once.
watched the fucking show before. I just figured it was like my
2
mom.
kids, and then she was actually. I think she's kind of sexy, but she's got super.
Yeah, and
So they're like all 8 at once?
in a terrible
No,
bitch sort of
she
way.
had twins, and then she had like 6 kids, I believe.
No shit.
Yeah,
think.
yeah, because she was like, oh, I have twins, so I might as well have 6 other kids on top. No, I think they had
6
They
all
had-
at once or
Nah,
6
they-
individual
they
after
had,
that?
They had
In vitro
fertility.
or
Yeah,
whatever?
they had some kind of fertility
okay.
treatment or whatever.
But how many was the most she had at one time?
6.
Oh, 6 all at
Yeah,
once?
Yeah, I don't think.
Holy
you're
shit.
thinking of the Octo Mom. That's the one that had 8 kids. Yeah,
whatever.
So, anyways,
Fuck
Dude, I
'em
heard
both.
One of the kids came out of her tit. Seriously.
all right.
All
The other trailer that
Oh,
came
yeah.
out is Batman vs Superman.
That looks fucking.
You think it looks good?
I didn't think it looked bad, but then again, you're like, I hate Affleck.
I think it's gonna sink.
I just hate Affleck.
Affleck.
I hate him.
I think it's gonna sink harder than the
I
Titanic.
hated Armageddon. I hated it.
Harder.
It looked
Sink.
pretty good up until about the time Affleck came on the screen.
Yeah,
I will say.
and then I was
I'm
like-
not even like a hater of it
Alright.
in that way, but like it just was
I
not
just
good.
think you got a preconceived thing in your brain that you hate Affleck.
Well, I don't hate Affleck like everybody else. I wasn't all up in arms about it, but like if they can make him look less like Ben Affleck,
Less Afflecky.
less Afflecky.
Affleck.
Who should they have got? Matt Damon? I mean, that's
Oh,
the
no,
only
I'm not saying
Affleck-
who they should have
That's how
got.
they can get Affleck without looking like Affleck.
I mean, what's his name? The guy who played him live, Patrick Bateman.
Patrick
Bateman?
Yeah,
What
that's
are you talking about?
that's this character American Psycho. I can't think of the
Oh,
guy's
Christian
name.
Bale.
Oh, Christian
I was
Bale.
Christian
yeah.
Bale. Thanks. See, I couldn't think of it. I always call him Patrick Bateman because that's what I think of when I think of him. But I mean, he was good at it. But even still, I mean, the voice he did was ridiculous as Batman. The really deep.
Well, it was different. It was the Dark Knight.
Batman.
It's
Dude,
different
the
than the
third
Batman.
one,
It is really. No, it
I
really
I know,
is.
but it was
I
was so absurd.
I literally wanted the bomb to explode in
Yeah.
the middle of the city after the third one. Because any movie over 2 hours and 30 minutes, I'm sorry.
Especially
It's
a comic book
oh
movie.
my
It's like,
god!
what the
And-
fuck?
And it's not.
Fuck you guys. I
Hey,
thought it was a good
Hey,
movie.
if you think of like the end of like the Avengers or something like that, which was 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is a perfect length, but like the end of that was still funny. You know, they wrapped up the whole like drama part of it and they made it funny at the end. Whereas the fucking end of the Batman thing, it's just like duh, duh, for like a half an hour. Everyone's dying. It's just dragging it out. You're like, God damn it, we could have been done with this movie.
Just
like,
kill everyone.
No, honestly, I thought, what was her name? Talia?
Dude, she fucking
sexy.
nailed it.
She's
Nailed,
sexy.
the Catwoman, whoever Catwoman was.
No,
was.
Oh.
not Catwoman.
No?
The chick that was
well,
trying to,
forget about it.
Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Oh, in the Batman Dark
Yeah.
Knight Returns or
Yeah.
Dark Knight whatever
I thought
Rises.
she
I
was
don't fucking remember
she's
that.
beautiful, I thought.
Yeah, she's cute, man.
Did you guys see Inception?
Yeah. I
She
like
was
that movie.
Maul.
Yeah.
Oh.
She jumped off the.
I saw that movie once.
It was a good
okay.
movie.
I
Anyway,
thought it was overrated.
I
So-
liked it. I liked it. I haven't seen
No,
in
it
a
was
long time.
good, but it was one of those
But
movies
it
where it
was-
had
it was
so much hype beforehand. People were like, "It's the greatest movie since The Matrix,"
I-
and then I watched it and I was like, "Yeah, it was okay."
It's
You know,
sort
I,
of-
I
it's-
didn't
it's-
really think The Matrix was that
It's
cool.
Matrixy.
The first one was excellent, but after that, it was kind of
The
shit.
Matrix to me was weird. I'm looking for a topic, right?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. You can turn it from the mic.
Well, my bad.
That's all right.
But
Yeah.
also, speaking of Ben Affleck, you hear that story now where he had erased from his family tree that his
it's
great great grandparents were slave
it
owners
was some
or something
show
like
where
that.
they look up like your family history or
Yeah.
whatever, and then they end up being like, oh, like this is what they did, and like you're like your guy was a mass murderer.
Right,
and you're like,
right.
Shit.
Fuck, yeah, Woody
Dude, were we talking about that?
I
last
found
week?
out that a couple weeks ago we talked about like my great grandmother was like a murderer.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That's
she
exactly
killed both her husbands.
Lizzie Borden? Oh, no.
No, but yeah. So he handled it. Well, actually, the only reason they found out about it is because of the leaked Sony emails. Dude,
Oh, it was in
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Right.
it was in the leak. Sony, it is so.
That's good.
It's so funny because it's like, all right, well, for one, he probably thought it was never going to come out. No one's ever know about it. But it's also like the worst way to handle it because now
Yes.
he looks like a complete douchebag.
He looks like
Well,
Ben Affleck now.
you
He
know
looks
what,
like
though?
yeah, exactly.
To be honest, though, what really? Because somebody probably would have held the shit against him.
no, but the same thing happened. The same thing happened to what was the other guy?
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton,
Who
and he
is,
totally talked about it. He
Game
handled
over,
it perfectly.
man. Game over.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah, that's the guy from Aliens.
Yeah.
He's like, game over,
You
man.
said that in Aliens, or I never saw Aliens?
No, he said that in Aliens. He's
Oh,
the guy
okay.
from Aliens.
He
Who's
was
like,
He's
also
been in a
like-
lot of stuff.
yeah, he's
Shut
like,
up, butthead.
yeah, oh, dude, totally.
Weird Science. He's in Weird
Chet,
Science.
Yeah. Dude, I forgot he was Chet.
Yeah, he was Chet. That's it.
No shit.
That was
Chet, no
such a
shit,
great
Chet.
role. He fucking killed me. in
He
that.
did,
I-
yeah, he was
I-
great.
Dude, I remember I saw that movie when I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. It was just fucking
I don't
like
think of him in fucking as
Aliens.
from-
the guy.
Aliens
Oh,
or
dude,
Twister.
that is.
He's
if you-
fucking
I will
Chet.
watch that scene every once in a while. Just go back to that scene, like where
That
the fucking,
stupid laugh.
Yeah,
Turns into a big piece of
well,
shit.
well, no. In Aliens, like the
Oh.
plane crashes and everything, and so that's their only ride out. Like the lady's coming to pick him up, and a fucking alien just knocks her brains out. and the thing crashes, and all of a sudden Bill Paxton just gets up, like because it comes right at him. They gotta like dive out of the way or whatever. And he's just sitting there. Spoiler alert.
Is this the newest one?
No. This was the second one. So
Oh,
there's
see, I think-
Alien and there's Aliens.
The movie's
So-
like 25 years
which
old.
everyone complains about it. It's a Jim Cameron movie. They're like, it's fucking. It was too much. I like this, but no, Aliens was the shit. And that part is the quintessential moment of Aliens. The most quotable moment is when fucking that plane crashes and they have no way to get out of there. And dude's like, "Listen, man, we're so fucked." He's like, "It's game over, man. Game over." It's like, it goes down in infamy. It's just like the best
So
line.
you didn't buy his desperation.
No, I bought it. I totally bought into it. But it's probably the most. It's worth watching the entire movie just to get to
Just
that
for that
point.
line.
He fucking sells it so well. He plays the best like foil, just gross human being of like like total asshole. And he's like, I got this. We're gonna go down. Like, and all of a sudden, like when the shit goes down, he's like, oh man, I don't know what to do.
Oh, I saw Prometheus.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the closest. I really actually like that movie.
No, that was a good movie.
I
Yeah.
thought there's a movie coming out, and I can't think of the name of it. I saw the trailer the other day. I thought it was the sequel to Prometheus.
Well, no, I don't think it is.
I know they're making one, but it's,
Yeah, they're
and that
making.
takes
I
place
don't
in
think
the
the trailer
universe of
came out
Alien,
yet.
right?
The universe of what?
Alien.
Yeah,
Same universe, not necessarily the same timeline.
yeah. So
I don't know if you knew that.
yeah,
I did not.
there's,
I
there's
read some-
another
I
movie
need. Did
coming
you ever
out.
see Prometheus?
No, I haven't.
Dude, you have to see that movie.
Yeah.
If you think that everything you believe is a sham, that movie will make you believe.
Everything I believe or everything everyone else believes? Because I believe everything most everyone else believes is a sham.
Yeah, I do too. Like those coupon savers. That's a fucking sham. I think it's a sham against Meat Because you ever got stuck behind one of them?
Sure, but
It's fucking no. I mean, like people that have seen the show and want to duplicate what they did, and you're fucking in line with someone with like 19 carts, and of course there's only like 3 cashiers,
Sure.
and they're in every fucking aisle because that's what's cool. I was buying time. To
no, I hear you. No, I've been in that. It's a shitty situation, man. Like,
It sucks,
Oh,
man. Like, man,
man.
we don't this coupon's not going through. Oh, I gotta be.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks.
Brass tacks.
All right, we got to talk about something serious right now.
Let's talk about it.
Dick pants.
oh,
pants.
jeez.
Dick pants.
Greg likes dick pants.
Would you wear my dick pants? That's what I want to know.
No.
That's
I think
No.
I think the audience might need a better explanation of
you
what dick
don't know,
pants.
You don't know what dick pants are?
I'm familiar with what dick pants
Oh,
are.
I'm sorry.
But,
we need to post these on the site so people
Okay,
can actually.
okay.
We
read
should
these.
post
All
this.
right, well,
this-
that
and be
at
like,
least the
Greg,
picture of the dick pants.
Your
I
little
think.
ass dick pants.
Oh
would wear them.
man. So, anyways, in 17th century Iceland, sorcerers wore trousers made of a dead friend's skin that were said to bring them wealth. And it says example pictured.
He
And if you
died
look at
penniless.
the example, it's like the hairiest, and this is the only the only surviving pair of dick
It's
pants.
in a museum
Like,
or something?
they call it-
Jerky
yeah,
pants.
it's in a museum, and I think in Iceland.
Oh, shit.
And it looks like. I guess what they do is they have to cut off the skin all in one piece. That's part of the whole magical ritual.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you have to like skin it off and don't get any cuts or scratches. And if you look at it, looks like the bottom half of a dude, dick and balls, twig and berries included.
Just hollowed out.
Yeah, just hollowed out the skin and everything. And then I guess part of the whole ritual is they have to steal a coin from a widow, as if they're not like already having a hard enough time. They have to steal a coin from a widow, and then they put it in the scrotum or the coin purse of the fucking dick pants. So there's literally, if you're not understanding what's going on right now, imagine if you skinned someone from the waist down, because that's what happened. They would make a deal before the guy died, and they'd be like, look, once you die, I get your dick pants. And they're like, what? They're like, oh, well, I'll cut off all the skin around your body, and then I'll put a coin into the scrotum, and it's all intact.
It's a change purse.
Yeah, it's a change purse. So you put the coin in there with a special marking or like symbol on it, and then that's supposed to bring you wealth. But the one trick, the key to this is you can never take dick pants off.
What?
Yeah.
You have to piss through the piss hole?
You know, they didn't really get into that. That's
Oh my God, that's the.
You got to shit through his beehole too?
Oh my God. Well, that's the thing. It would have to be someone skinnier than you, always.
And
like,
if you
in
look
order
at
for you
these
to
dick,
get them.
if you look at the picture of these dick pants, which we'll post at least like
They
the
couldn't be
article
skinnier
on.
than
I mean, you'd have to be thinner than
Oh,
them. Is
yeah.
what I meant. I flipped that around. Sorry
I'd
about
be
that.
fucked. I'd have to wear Fat Albert's dick pants.
Oh my God.
Well, then we kind of like.
Is it possible that this is not real and that there's really no museums in Iceland and no one would know because no one lives there?
If they didn't have
Honestly, who the fuck's gonna go to Iceland?
That's what I'm
and
saying. That's my
check?
point. Like, is it possible this
Well,
is
I found the picture at what was it? Like it was. I was looking up something. It was
on the internet?
Yeah.
Oh,
on
then
the
it's
internet.
real.
Yeah,
Then it's real.
there was
Pants.com.
Native American used to wear thongs. Yeah, and then all of a sudden in the middle of a Native American thong thing, they're like, oh, check this out. And there's dick pants. You're like, wait a second, how is this not the fucking lead? Like dick pants should have been at the top. You're
For
like,
real. That should be the headline.
Icelandic sorcerers wear dick pants.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I think that we skipped the fact that they were fucking sorcerers,
Really?
which I think is kind of funny.
Which is pretty important.
You
fact.
think?
Yeah.
What's so important about sorcerers?
Well, sorcerers really, they're
Magic.
You have to have like your magical talismans and
That's in
outfits and
fucking
whatever.
video games, dude.
Well, what I'm saying, why do you think that's in video games? Because that's how the real shit was. So I mean, part of that whole deal is, I guess, dick pants. So
Man.
It should have been the headline, though. I think
I
we can
love
agree
to
on that.
steal
And
a
a-
coin from a poor widow at Christmas, Easter, or Whitsun.
There's a lot of steps
What the
to
fuck
this.
is
Like
Whitsun?
I don't know. It's like
some Icelandic holiday.
place in the
Yeah.
scrotum of the trousers along with a magical
Well,
sign.
we gotta Google Whitsun. I need to know what the fuck Whitsun is.
Wouldn't
Ah,
like I don't know, like a coin in Iceland's very cold, and a coin up against your balls seems like it would freeze your balls.
Well, the
That
whole
would be one stinky ass coin too.
yeah,
the whole
Between two
two
sets of
nutsacks
balls.
between two
Yeah.
nutsacks.
Well, here it is. Here's what it comes down to brass tacks. Here's why dick pants were invented in the first place. It drew money into the scrotum from living people, so it will never be empty as long as the original coin was not removed, according to folklore.
What's the name of that
folklore.
holiday?
Has anyone been known
Whitsun,
to?
WHITSON. What's that?
Has anyone been known to achieve great wealth through this dick pant strategy?
Would you wear dick pants if you weren't getting money?
That's a very good point.
I'm saying if you were wearing fucking dick pants and you were getting
All
no
I got was
and you were
dick
broke,
pants.
do you think how long do you think?
Why would you bother going
Yeah.
through the steps of skinning your friend, stealing a coin from a widow on Christmas or whittle, whatever the fuck the name of that other holiday was?
What? I mean, he's like, hey man, I got an idea. All right, this is gonna blow your fucking mind. All right, hear me out. When one of us goes, I want you to cut all the skin, pretty much above
waist down?
from my waist down, balls included. All right, yeah, I know.
yeah,
I
Could
know.
they do it like the upper half and be like a jacket or something? That
It's-
seems so much
yeah,
easier.
dude. He could dress like Prince,
Right.
assless chaps, but he have an ass. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's me. But
That's a serious deal.
he's like, hear me out.
That's
hear me
a
out.
bro.
Hear me out, all right? Hear me out. You're gonna hollow my dick and shit out, all right? Then you're gonna.
That's
got
got to be the hardest
You're
part.
gonna. Well, he's like, I know it sounds crazy. but
Well, that's
hear me out.
that's part of it too. You can't get. You gotta get really careful. It
Yeah.
says in here, there can't be any
Listen.
cuts or scratches or anything like that.
You're gonna piss through my pee hole and poop through my bee hole. All right. So basically, I live.
You
through
can't
your
take
bowels.
these pants off.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to wear these pants and
Forever.
Please,
As long as you want that money.
Is
I
this still
prefer-
is this still practiced in Iceland?
yeah.
No, I think they dropped it right along the
I
time. of-
prefer my. These got to be the only two stupid fucks who've ever done it. Because the guy was been like, I don't want to do
well,
it.
well, I like how they're like, there's only one pair of dick pants.
The guy
in it.
probably died.
It's just-
and he's just like,
right,
well,
right. As if there's more. There was a bunch of dick pants
Yeah.
laying around.
This
and,
guy was fucking Icelandic Hannibal Lecter. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
and they're trying to pass it off as, yeah, it was a folklore and tradition. Like,
yeah,
we
that's
just
what we did in our family.
you
We
just
wore
did
each other's dicks.
save some crazy dude's dick pants.
That would have been awesome for like the heavy metal bands of the 80s.
for real.
Yeah. Like, could you see like fucking
Iron Maiden. Yeah.
Iron Maiden wearing Bruce Dickinson wearing
Yeah,
dick pants?
it doesn't get much harder than dick pants.
I would think Slayer would wear.
You can
dick
say
pants.
whatever you want, but you're like,
Yeah.
dude, I cut these off my friend. And you're
Yeah.
like, damn, you guys.
Dude,
are fucking
remember
What-
our old drummer? This is Carlos's dick pants.
Now, this could be a sick thought, but like, let's say, okay, so you're wearing your friend's dick pants and everything fits right, but like, he's limp, I assume, when you skin him. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't
like,
know.
are you
Maybe-
never like?
Do you
what if you get? Well, I didn't even think of
Do you
masturbate. Just
masturbate
when you
through
get
the-
hard, like what? You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
Do
you know,
jerk off
do you
nasty,
explode
dude.
through your the? You know, like it's a sick
I
thought.
mean,
but
it looked like the dude had a. I
I'm
mean, from the picture, he basically was a white guy. He had a little dick.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
Yeah, it was a white.
I take
dude.
offense to that, sir.
It had
Well,
like
I mean-
had like scrawny leg hair and stuff. He couldn't even shave off the hair. You couldn't.
Yeah,
No,
you can
no.
skin the fucking guy without making
dude,
a.
yeah,
You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
a
You don't
dick
have to-
skin rug. That's
yeah.
what he should have made. Walk in and step on Olaf's
Oh
dick
my
skin.
God. And now we know we're coin person.
The least
from-
hairy
Yeah.
part of the fucking pants is actually the ball sack. I noticed. You know.
Well, you know, it's Iceland. It's cold.
I don't know, man.
They don't get a lot of.
That story just made me hate fucking. Is that Europe?
Iceland is
it's
considered part of Europe. Sure,
Yeah.
it's
Those
an island,
creepy fucking white people, man.
Yeah.
They're worse than hillbillies and shacks.
that's what happens when you leave white people, only white people
Yeah.
alone in one place for too long.
Well, speaking of
Dick
hillbillies,
pants happens.
long lost siblings strangely find each other on Tinder.
Did they fuck?
No, they didn't. They just happened to find each other because I guess the mom and dad split, and so the two twin boys went with the dad, and then the girl went with the mom, and they ended up in two different countries. It was in Europe, somewhere.
Belgium and the Netherlands. I think.
Yeah, and then they ended up in the same place, like on Tinder, and they were swiping.
They each thought each other was fuckable. I guess.
Right?
Yeah,
Can
they
you
were
imagine?
totally-
how do you like?
I would totally fuck
There's
my
no
brother.
other reasoning to it other than that.
Right.
I mean,
Well, they tried to play it off. They were like, well, you know, I was like, oh, this person kind of looks familiar. so
interesting,
I
yeah.
swiped right. Or whatever it is. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, can you imagine that? And you're like, do they still bang? I mean, they didn't know each other for a
Yeah,
while.
I mean,
like,
fuck, you probably had to pay for
I was
dinner.
gonna say if this was like Kentucky or something, I would have just assumed they
Right,
did. But
right.
I don't know how the Belgians get
well,
down.
it's cousins is still somewhat legal. I think it's like second
it's
cousin
second
or something.
cousin,
Yeah,
yeah.
second cousins is even like somewhat genetically legal. If
No
you know,
shit.
if you know about that, yeah.
I didn't know that there was like
Well-
genetic illegalities.
Well,
didn't
I
realize
wasn't
that.
meaning legal. I just mean like if you don't want defects, then a second cousin is about as close as you can stay and
As
not
clo-
have
as
to
safe
worry
and
about.
keeping it in the family. as
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
get.
There were. I think there was even like a survey where it was like, you know, fucking your uncle's kids. It's a free game. It's fucking good,
Have at it.
good to go as far as genetically goes. But you know, I guess when there's a couple 100,000 people, maybe it's different.
Can I tell you this might explain part of my I know it's totally off topic, but there's this great mystery. What's not a mystery? I'm too afraid of what the answer is to ask. But so you know, I'm from a big family. My dad is one of like 6 kids as well, and his sister is married to a guy and has 5 kids, but her last name is Thompson still, which is my dad's her natural last name.
Maybe related.
So I asked. The only part I asked one time, I was like, you know, how come Karen, who's my aunt's name, I was like, how come her last name is Thompson as well? And her husband's name was Larry. And she goes, oh, Larry's last name was Thompson as well. And I was just terrified by that answer, and I never asked any further than
my
that.
God, you
So
know,
I was like,
You're like,
oh my God. And
Like-
they were like from Kentucky and
well,
shit.
you
so,
know, like,
you know,
well, it's not that long ago. Even like, who's it? Rudy Giuliani. He was married to his first cousin.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So,
isn't Morgan Freeman like fucking his like daughter or some shit like that,
Is
or
he
his,
really? I didn't
his
hear
niece
that.
or something like
oh,
that?
well, that
She has
I
like
don't know about-
18-year-old niece or something like that. Oh
That's
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be
Oh,
interesting.
that must be recent.
Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my-
A few years ago it
I
came out.
remember who was it? But Albert Einstein. He ended up fucking like it was like his. I think it was like his wife's daughter or like niece or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Yeah.
Woody fucking Allen did that too.
And then,
Yes, he
yeah,
did.
right.
Oy,
Jesus
oy.
Christ. And then Gandhi. That was another thing. Gandhi had a nephew whose wife, like, and the whole like thing they had going on was like no celibacy. So like keep it celibate. So this dude would fucking keep everyone else celibate and then have baths with like fucking like 18-year-old. And he used to have baths with like 18-year-old girls and shit like that. He said to test himself. You know what I'm saying?
I like this
Yeah.
guy more already.
That's crazy.
Dude, so he ended up like hooking up with like his nephew's like wife, who his nephew couldn't even
Hadn't
hang
even
out-
fucked yet.
Yeah, well, couldn't hook up with at the time because he was saying you got to stay celibate, and you know,
It's good to be the king.
I'm gonna get a hand job to see how like fucking how much I can resist. So
Build up some tolerance.
Yeah.
Greg, how do you know all this shit, man?
You start reading things because it's one of those like if you ever read crack.com, like one of those articles where they're like, 5 people who you thought were great but are actually kind of like pederasts.
Yeah. There's no truly great people. Everybody's got some fucking dirt.
Franklin Roosevelt, I think like if there's a movie where he gets a hand job from his cousin, like first cousin.
How old were they?
There's a movie that does that?
Yeah. It's Bill Murray's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Was Bill Murray FDR?
Yeah, that was the only part of the movie I saw. I'm like, oh, this looks like a what the fuck is happening? I remember my girlfriend's been like, yeah, that's his cousin. I'm like, oh my god, this is totally unenjoyable.
How old
okay,
was
keep
he?
going. What?
How old was he in the movie? Was he an adult?
He was fucking the president. I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is like a Bill Clinton situation.
Well, he married his.
Yeah.
He married his fucking one of his cousins. Yeah, because the
there's a monument built to this man.
I think it was Roosevelt. It was like Roosevelt's niece or Teddy Roosevelt's niece or something like that. Yeah, it's so weird. If you go back 100 years, people were like boning the shit out of their cousins.
Well, you think it was all small towns. There's only so many people,
right, totally.
You got to fuck somebody, man.
Especially if that's an Irish town, they're fucking cousins.
And you already got the in because they're family, so you're like,
fuck breaking the ice.
Less people to bring.
And they'd be like, fuck, oh, it's horrible.
Yeah,
it's so
there's
bad.
Only, like the wedding is there. There's only one side filled up,
and that's the problem now is you have no excuse. Like, there's a 7 billion people on the earth. You gotta fucking step outside your comfort zone.
That's it. Step outside the family.
Yeah. What?
Where did this come from?
Yeah,
you said step outside your comfort zone.
Oh,
yeah. I didn't know that was outside.
I mean, I don't know.
Zone.
I don't like. You know
sure
why? Because they make you take your shoes off. I don't like taking my shoes off. I don't like walking barefoot.
Right.
Why do I gotta take my fucking shoes off and wear these little wood shoes?
I thought it was something to do with
wood shoes. That's the Dutch, isn't it? To the Chinese
like
make you wear
sandals.
Oh, okay.
The little ninja
Dutch.
shoes.
You should know this. The Dutch.
That's what I said. They make you wear wood shoes. The Dutch, yeah. Well, they don't make you. They never made me there, but.
Well, what's the word for the wood shoes?
Oh, I don't fucking
clogs.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a fucking hard. I thought they had a more Dutch word for it. You know what I mean?
I'm starting to doubt his.
I can show you
Amsterdam.
Yeah,
no,
you made this fucking. This story didn't happen. You went to Vegas.
It was the Amsterdam and Vegas.
Yeah.
Around the world, the country.
I heard there's a lot of midgets there.
In Amsterdam?
Someone told. It was like, man, there was a lot of midgets.
I didn't remember seeing a little, but there's so much crazy shit there.
Hey, little people.
Little people.
No, fuck that.
Bro.
Midgets is fine.
Oh man, you of course.
I mean, I don't mean it in a bad way.
Exactly. I mean, I don't mean anything derogatory by midgets. That's what they are.
I'm trying
the
to
little person sounds so condescending to me. You know what I mean? It's like
we know you're a person, motherfucker. Why can't you just be a little? Like remember that cartoon, The Littles?
No.
I mean, I know what you're talking about, but
No,
that seems more offensive to me too.
With the tiny people that lived in the house and stuff with the buttons and shit like that, I used to make like helicopters out of
fucking dumbass
rubber bands.
We would watch anything as a kid.
I know, this shit was horrible.
As long as it was an animal.
Or some kind of. Well, I was talking about people the other day, and they were this one girl was like, "Oh, when we were growing up watching, like in the '90s or something like that, like they didn't have any violence in cartoons." Like
what?
They
They used to shoot motherfuckers in the cartoons we watched.
Well, yeah, and she was trying to say like, "Oh, now they have violence in the cartoons, but they didn't before the time." And I was like, "Look, I was born before you, and I'll tell you what. Like, I don't know if you know about like Don Bluth or like any. He did All Dogs Go to Heaven, but he also did, which is kind of a fucked up movie because all dogs don't go to heaven.
No.
Newsflash. There's a hell scene in it.
Yeah.
And so on top of that, there's also a movie called The Secret of Nim. I don't know if you ever. Yeah, you've seen that before. It's a fucking it's a children's snuff movie. Yeah. There's a knife fight at the end where the guy gets stabbed like in the stomach and blood is running everywhere. It's not like you're not like now when they'll show it and they'll be like stab and then all of a sudden they'll cut away real quick. No, it was like a long drawn out fucking like lift him up with a sword.
Sure.
Like,
it was about these super smart rats.
Yeah, and like in the beginning of the movie starts off with a bunch of animals getting fucking killed by one of those big wheat thresher things, like like that rolls down with the blades. You see him like going like, oh my god, and then it shows him experimenting on animals in the first couple.
Really?
Yeah, this is a children's movie. They showed it to me in school when I was like 7. I
awesome.
remember being like, holy shit, like what the fuck am I watching? Like why? They look at it first, you're like, oh cool, a cartoon, and then all of a sudden you're at the end, you're like, oh my god, there's a bunch of people drowning.
Remember Heavy Metal?
Oh yeah.
Of course, that was more of an adult film.
Yeah, I know, but it was still a cartoon.
Even basic stuff like Tom and Jerry, the whole basis of the fucking cartoon is these two trying to kill each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who was
Woody
a bitch?
Woodpecker. Go watch that episode of Woody Woodpecker.
Right,
it's so
right.
fucking violent. He blows everything up.
So the Roadrunner.
Yeah, oh my God,
The
yeah.
Coyote.
The Roadrunner's fucking lame.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
all. That's all
Wile E.
they were though.
Coyote
Was trying to.
is a bitch.
Well, the other one, the ultimate 80s snuff film was the Transformers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, but they had a movie out in the theaters. In the
Bawani, Ninny Bob.
I don't remember that.
That was the fucking international greeting, dude.
no.
The international greeting.
For what?
They had an international greeting.
In Transformers?
Yeah, the cartoon.
I didn't know that.
I'll fucking look this shit up.
All right. Well, anyways, so the movie, the premise behind it, you have to understand is they're selling all these action figures, right? And so they have a whole line of action figures, and they just come out with a couple of seasons or one season or whatever, and they're like, so what do we do next? So we're gonna come out with a movie where we kill off all the old action figures, literally fucking right down to Optimus Prime, to the point where he gets blasted, like from Megatron, he gets blasted in his chest. In the first 15 minutes, I was crying. I was like 8 years old, being like, what the fuck is going on here? So they killed everyone in the movie so they could sell more toys. They had to have some way where they could have like a new line of toys out, and they couldn't just sell the same Optimus Prime and everything like that. So they killed everybody.
It's a marketing plan.
Yeah.
Kill everyone.
The ultimate marketing plan of let's destroy people's dreams. I know people to this day that saw that movie, and like Jesse, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. A mutual friend of Scott and I, and Jesse, and we talk about we laugh about it all the time because we're just like, dude, I was crushed. I was like you're fucking like I used to watch it on TV. I was like, oh, Optimus Prime, like this is cool, whatever. And you show up to a movie, we're like, oh, we're gonna get this show because this is the '80s. You don't have there's no trailers. Right. There's no, you just know there's a Transformers movie, and you walk out into the ether, and you're like, okay, like my dad, like take me to this thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god,
Death
like
everywhere.
Like I couldn't even like I could barely process the whole feelings of like this dude's dying like in the middle of fucking whatever, it's like, oh my god, like what's going on here?
The Fox and the Hound fucked me up. I puked.
Oh,
I was so upset.
that's what I'm saying. These fucking movies were like,
Listen. This is Transformers the movies.
oh okay,
We're gonna get sued.
oh man, no we're not.
Oh, I didn't say it. Never mind.
Yeah, see. Anyways, so our last story, I guess we could finish up with agoraphobic grandma finally leaves the house after nearly a decade indoors, and promptly steps into a manhole.
And isn't it ironic?
I love
Don't
this
you
story.
think?
Well, it's not actually ironic. It's not the way it's
I know,
supposed to
but
be.
it just sounds like
yeah,
the song.
Yeah, but
And
the
a
song
grandma.
is from what I read in the comments on the internet, the song is also not ironic. The song.
Yeah, I know.
But
Who
now-
cares? I didn't write the song.
Do you think maybe she was just really trying to I assume it's saying she accidentally fell in the manhole.
Well, yeah, she did because she was moving something out of the way. It was like it was a block of wood or whatever. And as she was moving it, she wasn't like paying attention. She was moving something out of the way so she could move her car out. And then as she was doing that, there was like a pallet of wood over top of the manhole, and she moved the pallet of wood, and she fucking fell right the fuck in. All right, actually, I think.
But shouldn't
Where was
she
she from?
she was?
What's that?
Where-
I think she was from New York.
Oh wow, this is fucking
Yeah.
in the good old U.S.
Yeah, it was in the USA.
Did she die?
Yeah,
She
she's
didn't.
She's like, I took
No.
a step over. Never
Oh,
in
she
my
didn't die?
life.
Didn't die.
Never in my life did I think there was a hole underneath. I thought I had just fallen over. Next thing I remember, I was in pain. It was awful.
Well, if the bitch was out there scouting the fucking
Yeah,
area,
she broke her leg.
oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
broken leg and 2 black eyes.
She's gonna sue him,
That's
sure.
not too bad for falling down in a
I was
fucking
gonna say,
manhole.
you think she'd get? Are we sure she wasn't just trying to she got scared when she was out in public and tried to
Yeah.
crawl into the fucking manhole?
Maybe
cover?
there's an alligator
You
down
know what I
there.
mean?
Well,
And then
good
just
thing there
fell.
wasn't.
Just fell.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. We can probably do without this
Well,
lady. I
it's-
don't know.
it's sad.
What good does she do
Yeah.
in society? I mean,
Come on, this
she
bitch
sits
won't
in her
even
fucking
hang-
house all
She
day.
won't
What-
even fucking hang out.
Well, that's what she said. She's like, it set her agoraphobia back years.
Oh,
I'm
no
like,
doubt.
She's gonna
Well,
sue.
well, like, obviously, if you fucking walk outside of your house like after being inside for 10 years and you fall into a manhole, maybe you shouldn't be going
Maybe
outside.
you're just a fucking moron. Yeah,
maybe-
stay in
maybe
your
she-
house.
Yeah, she was right the whole time,
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're like, you had a good idea. I was wrong.
Who the fuck falls in manholes?
I'll be the bigger man here.
That's right.
I'll say I was the one that was wrong. And you can fucking stay in your goddamn house. Because
Thank you.
Can before we wrap this up, can we talk about the kid that got bit in the face?
Oh shit, sure. So a guy was he was swimming and he found a water moccasin. And what does anyone do when they find a water moccasin besides shit
It's
their pants
basically
and
a
get out
fucking.
of the fuck?
It's a fucking water rattlesnake.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
A fucking water rattlesnake.
If you've grown up in South Florida, like, or even Florida for that matter, when you hear the word like water moccasin, you're like, oh shit, like that's how people die.
It's
like
it's a pit viper. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah,
it just can swim and it's really angry.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Because it's in the water.
I don't know if you guys ever heard the urban legend. I don't even know if it's true. The one guy who was on water skis and he drove through like the bushes and there was a bunch of baby moccasins there and they're more poisonous. So like he was dead before he even hit the
Babies are
ground.
more poisonous?
That's what the urban legend says. Like that's how it goes. But yeah, essentially water moccasins are super fucking poisonous. So what does this guy do? He takes it home with him. And he puts it in a bag, and then all of a sudden, pillowcase, yeah,
because he's prepared.
Because that's not a bag. And then all of a sudden, he took the water moccasin, and he was trying to kiss it. I guess is what the story that came out. He was trying to kiss it, and it bit his lip. And if you look at the fucking picture of him, it looks like someone's like punched him in the face for an entire night and like did not stop.
He probably felt like someone punched him in the face.
Oh my god, I can't imagine. Like,
the saddest part of the story is that the fucking guy didn't die. To be honest with you, because like if like Darwin, you know what I mean, his theory. This of natural, or I know it's not Darwin's theory of natural selection, but natural selection. This guy should have fucking been dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're that stupid,
Well, he's 18. Give him a chance.
Well,
no, fuck him. 18's old enough to know not to pick up a water moccasin and try and kiss the fucking thing.
He may kill himself soon.
Oh well, this should have done it. To be honest with you, I mean,
the good part, I guess, if you're saying it, is he's gonna probably go under like federal charges for fucking with water moccasins.
Oh, good.
Or whatever.
Good.
Because you're not allowed. Do
Dude,
you have to have like a permit to catch them or whatever?
Swung that fucking thing. Whack! I would have been. Oh man, I hate snakes.
what a stupid fuck. Like the stupidity like that needs to be rewarded though.
No,
You know what I
and
mean?
then he had a picture of himself on Facebook being like holding the snake,
Yeah.
being like, "Look, I got
I
me
saw
a
that.
water moccasin." And you're like, "Oh god, like
What an asshole.
He needs dick pants.
dick pants." If he had dick pants on, he wouldn't have to go catch water moccasins. He'd have a ton of money.
There you go. That's
That's
right.
true.
That's right.
He could always use that
I'm a
coin.
dick pants millionaire. Whoop whoop.
Hey, you know, if one of you guys die before me, can I have your dick pants?
I think we should make a pact right here.
I think you should wear my
we could be like the dick pants
my
trial.
butthole pants over your face. That would be cool. It'd be your mask for
Have you
Halloween.
put my balls right under your fucking
Who
nose
are you? I'm Scott's butthole.
and put some potpourri in it. It won't smell as bad.
That's true. You could hang little furry dice. That was dumb.
Like testicles in rearview mirrors.
I think that's it.
All right.
That's it for today.
That's it, everyone. Have a great week.
All right.
All right.
Except for you, Greg.
Go fuck yourself.
Hope it sucks.